Hello everyone, welcome to Team Neon Nomad Sprint for Deliverable. And this is the project agenda we are doing for the presentation. First, we're going to present about improvements from the last feedback session, followed by the introduction, project description, and team members. And the agenda goes like this. So from the last feedback session, the improvements we made are for the last sprint deliverable, we kind of like missed upon how each technology is used. So we added that up. And we also didn't put up how each test case is related to that particular user story. So we did that in the sprint. And we also added the sprint for user stories as well. So KitchenSync is a comprehensive platform designed to make meal planning and pantry management simple. And unlike any other tool, KitchenSync helps us deliver a feasible and easy kitchen management, pantry management system. And the project description.
Yeah, so coming to the project description, our project mainly aims to solve pantry management and meal planning issues for those with active lifestyles and families. So they can manage their inventory list by adding their items into our project, and they can track them when they are expiring, and they can save their money. We also have a prediction feature in which the dish gets predicted and shows you the nutritional information, unlike other conventional inventory systems and shop listing apps. Our project aims to give the user a different user experience as well. The next slide. So coming to the team members and roles, we have different kinds of roles assigned to our team members. As we can see, Hemanvita is a front-end developer. Kishan, coming to me, is a front-end developer as well as a Scrum Master. And Yoga Kapil is the back-end developer. Neha takes care of the DevOps part. Next slide. And then comes Sasank. He's a software developer. Balsaiti is a backend developer as well. And we have Aditya, who's a software developer, and Sajita is a test engineer. Next slide. So we have agreed to form a teamwork agreement, and this document contains all the rules which we need to follow while executing our project in order to foster collaboration and productivity. Whatever the agenda is there, we discuss it beforehand on the WhatsApp or by email. And while executing the project, we assign different roles to each other in order to see progress in the project. And one meeting per week is scheduled on Saturdays, and we meet and discuss about the work and the progress which we have achieved.
Coming to the personas, the first persona we have is CL, and he's a 21-year-old freshman. He studies at Pace University. He comes from a low-income family background, and he lives in a dormitory. He's on a tight budget, and he needs to make his grocery shopping as efficient as possible to save money. And he is cheerful, disciplined, hardworking, and initiative. His pain points are he has a very limited budget as he comes from a low-income family, and he also have an experience in meal planning, and he finds it difficult to find recipes which are related to the items which we have. And the challenges he has is he tends to make unnecessary purchases, and he wants to eat healthy, and he has a small fridge storage. He needs to manage that too. And the second persona we have is Ella. She's a 32-year-old advocate. She's an advocate and she leads a very busy life, but she's health conscious and she enjoys cooking a nutritious meal at home. Her pain points are managing her schedule, locating the recipes that meet her specific dietary preference, and keeping track of her expiration dates of her pantry. And her challenge is efficiently organizing pantry management and meal planning. The third persona we have is Michelle. She's a 44-year-old mom, and she's a working mom of four. She kind of like juggles between her demanding 9 to 5 job and her household responsibilities. Her pain points are balancing her demanding job and household responsibilities, and she tends to over purchase. And she desires a system which assists her with recipe suggestion. Her challenge is coordinating meals that fit her busy schedule and also managing a large and diverse food diversity. She also plans to reduce her food waste. And Diego, he's a 49-year-old restaurant manager. He specializes in local cuisine, and he's constantly balancing various tasks, and he overlooks his inventory management, which occasionally leads to food wastage. his pain points are overlooking his inventory management, and as he multitasks a lot, he kind of like overlooks his pantry. And he also needs a system that helps him keep a track of all the expiration dates of the pantry items available in his pantry. And his challenge is streamlining inventory management, and reducing food wastage. The next slides are presented by
Hi,
Kapil.
yeah, thank you, Emma. Hi, everyone. This is Kapil. This is our project MVP, minimal viable product. It will start with core functionalities like user authentication, where user creates an account or logins. The next one would be pantry management, where you can add, delete, and add expiry date to the products. The third one is food image upload, where the model predicts the object in the image and predicts nutritional values for the product. We are using a pre-trained model called MobileNet for this. And the fourth functionality is recipe suggestions based on the contents in the pantry. And it also gives out alerts for nearing expiry date. And the application is developed using Python with Flask for the backend and HTML, CSS, JavaScript at the front end. And we used SQLite for the database. So the MVP mainly focuses on important features of our application, like pantry management and prediction of the nutritional value prediction. I think that's our MVP. Can you go to the next slide, Amy? These are the technologies and languages used in the project. So we used CSS, HTML, and JavaScript for the interface, which is front end, and Python and Flask for backend and for managing server logic and data handling. Next slide, please. So for the database, we use SQLite because it provides a lightweight database solution for storing user data. And for code development, we use VS Code, which is popular and everyone knows how to use it. And for managing, for the collaborating and the version control, we use GitHub. Next slide, please. Yeah, and we use Anaconda for managing our Python environments and managing dependencies. And we also used it for partially for running our machine learning algorithms. And we used a collaborative tool called Jira Board for our collaborations and tracking all our progress. And we followed agile methodology for this project. Next slide, please. So these are the algorithms and libraries used, TensorFlow and Keras. We use these for image recognition and enabling the app to identify the food items from the image uploaded, which at the end gives us the recipe suggestions and nutritional information about the product. And scikit-learn, this is a popular library. We use this to predict. We used it for predictive analysis to forecast pantry needs, and it also helps us to optimize grocery shopping. MobileNet model is the other algorithm we used. It's a deep learning model which is optimized for mobile devices. So we used it also for image recognition tasks, such as identifying the recipe and nutritional values. And we also used K-nearest neighbor, which is a popular machine learning algorithm. We used it for classification and regression purpose. This helps us to closely give the it gives us the closest match to the uploaded image. For example, if someone uploaded like 2 or 3 ingredients like cheese, tomato sauce, and a pizza base, so it will give out the closest thing which it can predict, which is pizza. If it has only tomato, it will give out popular 4 or top 4 recipes based on the object you uploaded. The other algorithm we used is VGG16. It's a neural network model. We used it for effectiveness in our image recognition. It analyzes image of food to help with the recipe generation. Next slide, please. Random forest is a deep learning method used for classification and regression. We used it to predict nutritional values of the uploaded items of the food. And the last one is web scraping. We used it to gather recipes from the internet to give the appropriate recipes and the nutritional values. Like if someone uploaded a image of apple, it gives out all the nutritional values like fat content, protein, calories, those kind of values. And if there are any related recipes to it, so it scrapes out all these data from the web and presents it to us. In the next slide, Sujita is going to continue.
Thank you, Kapil. I will be explaining architecture, context, and ER diagram. So next slide, please. So in architecture, we have 3 layers. We have presentation layer, application layer, and data layer. In presentation layer is front end, where we use Python and Flask. Through HTML and CSS, the request is sent to our Flask application. In application layer, it uses SQL ORM. Through that, it goes to our database, which we use SQL database. From the tables, the data it retrieved, and the search is displayed. For suppose someone uploads an image of a pizza, so it collects the data from it goes to the application layer and to the database, and it gives the recipe, and it gives nutritional values for apple or any top 4 recipes with apple, such as apple pie and baked things. Next slide, please. So in context diagram, the user when user enters the ingredients manually, the pantry items, then it divides, it categorizes the items, and the recipe recommendation and nutritional values are given for that. Then the expiration alerts are sent through the KitchenSync applications. So once it goes through a manual entry, the pantry items are entered, then it categorizes, it gives the nutrition values and recipe recommendations here. Then the user gets the expiration alerts through our KitchenSync application. Next diagram, please. Next is a ER diagram. ER diagram is the relationships between the each entity, between the user has one to many relationship between pantry items, inventory log, ingredients, then the recipe ingredients to the recipes, and the user preferences and alerts. The pantry items has one to many relationship between inventory logs, and ingredients has one to many relationship between recipe ingredients. Meal plans has uh, many to one relationship with recipes, and the alerts are sent to the user, which is many to one relationship. Based on the user preferences, the recipes are generated. You can see in the user, we have user ID, username, email, and the use dietary preferences. In the inventory log, we have your log ID, item ID, user ID, date, and the quantity change type. In ingredients, ingredient ID, name, and nutrition value. Pantry items has item ID, user ID, name, quantity, unit, and expiry date. Recipe has recipe ID, name, recipe description, prep time, cooking time, serving size. User preference has user preference ID, user ID and preference ID, and its description. Recipe ingredients ID, recipe, it has a recipe ID and ingredient ID and quantity with the unit. Alert has alert ID, user ID, item ID, and alert date and its message to the user. Hmm. Next, uh, Neha will be explaining the sequence diagram.
Thank you, Suchita. So I'll be explaining about the sequence, state, and class diagram briefly. So firstly, we have sequential diagram. As we can see, the user firstly logins or register to the system, and then he gets to access the pantry items where he can manage the items, where he can add, update, remove, or delete any of the items. And apart from that, he can also explore the items, whatever we already have, and with those he can like generate recipes where he can plan his meals and also set his preferences. It can be anything. It can be like vegetarian, vegan, non-veg, it can be dessert, any of the preferences. And after all that, we have the alert system where our system alerts when any of the item is approaching the expiry date or is expired. um, that is all for the sequential diagram. Next slide, please. Yes. So this is our state diagram where we can see that when the customer logins or the sign in to the application, if it is successful, it goes to the website. If not, it goes to the forget password or incorrect credentials. So when we enter the website, then he has the option of viewing the food items and adding food items, recipe recommendations, and feedback. And underneath we have for the food items, it again goes to the category where it could be like breakfast, dinner, fast food, dessert, and a lot of other options. And also when it comes to add items, it again connects to the category and category of items, which is again connected to the breakfast food and fast food thing. And later on okay. So also then it goes to the preferences section. It could be like vegetarian, non-veg, and seafood. So the next slide. So finally we have class diagram where we have a different set of elements where user has user ID, username, email, password, and dietary preferences. Similarly, recipes has recipe ID, name, description, preparation time, cooking item, and service size. And ingredients has ingredients ID, name, and nutrition values. In the same way, user is then again divided into pantry items, where basically user can go into pantry items and user preferences. Same with recipes. It could go to the meal plan and recipe recommendations. Again, with pantry, it subdivides into alert and inventory logins, and all of them, they have their own IDs, name, and everything. This is our class diagram, and next slide would be presented by Shashank.
Hello everyone, this is the sprint recap. So, for example, there is a health conscious individual who wants to check the nutrition value so that he can maintain a dietary regime without hassle. And this is the feature for nutrition value. Different as that there's a government cook who wants to access a wide variety of recipes so that he can explore new dishes and cuisines. And this is the feature for recipe organizer. Same as a parent with multiple kids who wants to plan the meals for the whole week so she can organize her shopping cart and cooking schedule. Same as a novice cook who wants to step-by-step cooking guides and so that he can learn cooking with more confidence. And college students who want to find recipes based on the ingredients he has. These all come under recipe recognizer as a restaurant chef who wants to access a wide variety of recipes so that he can quickly order his dishes. And a bakery owner who wants to manage his inventory for baking ingredients so he can prevent shortages and reduce excess waste. This is the inventory management feature. And next slide, please. This is the product backlog for all the sprints combined. And there is a student who wants to upload an image of the food so that he can receive recipe videos related to the image. So the food items he has in his pantry or inventory. And this is the recipe recommendation. And if there's a parent who wants to see detailed nutrition information for kids or for the family, so she can make an informed dietary choices. This is the feature for nutrition value. And there is a health conscious individual who wants to check the nutrition value so they can maintain the dietary regime without hassle. And there is a government cook who wants to access a wide variety of recipes so he can explore new dishes and cuisines. Parents with multiple kids who wants to plan meals for the whole week and organize their shopping cart and cooking schedule better. And a voice cook who has a step-by-step cooking guide so he can learn to cook with more confidence. These all come under recipe recognizer. And environmentally aware user who wants to be alerted about food nearing expiration so he can reduce the food waste and use the items whenever whenever the items they expire. This is expired notification. And a recipe enthusiast who wants to upload his own recipes and share them so that he can contribute to the community and save his favorites. That's the recipe upload. Next slide, please. And there is a college student who wants to find recipes based on the ingredients he has, and so that he can avoid buying extra groceries, which comes under recipe organizer. Restaurant chef who wants to access wide variety of recipes so he can quickly offer his dishes to everyone. And there is a bakery owner who wants to manage his inventory of baking ingredients so he can prevent shortages and reduce excess waste. Inventory management. And there is a restaurant manager who wants to track the freshness of his perishable stock so he can ensure good quality of the dishes served. Freshness tracking. That's the feature we use over there. And there is a pastry chef who also receive alerts when the specific ingredients are low and running out of expiry, and so he can order new supplies for the baking. So that's the feature is expiry notification. And there's a seafood market manager who tracks sells the dates by seafood, and he so that he can guarantee the freshness and safety of a product. Expiry notification. There's a food festival organizer who wants to manage his multiple vendor inventories in one platform so that he can oversee and ensure all the vendors are adequately stocked. That's the feature for multi-vendor inventory system. And next slide will be explained by my fellow teammate.
So I'll be explaining the Sprint 2 summary. For the let's say a bakery owner, let's say he wants to manage his inventory of baking ingredients so that he can prevent shortages and reduce excess waste. So we had an inventory management feature where we developed the inventory management functionalities tailored specifically for the bakery owners. We implemented features to track baking ingredients and prevent shortages while reducing excess waste. The bakery operations were improved by providing better visibility into inventory levels and enabling informed purchasing decisions. For the next one, for the head chef, we extended the inventory management capabilities to cater the head chef needs as well. We enabled the head chefs to update their inventory, ensuring accurate tracking of available ingredients for meal preparations. We implemented features for updating and deleting items in the inventory, ensuring real-time updates. Also, the meal planning and kitchen operations were improved by providing accurate inventory information to head chefs. For the restaurant owners who wants to create an account and add an item to an inventory, they were unable to create accounts for managing their inventory effectively. We developed features for account creation, login, and adding items to the inventory, ensuring personalized inventory management. Also, the efficiency in restaurant operations was improved by providing restaurant owners with tools for inventory management and an enhanced inventory tracking and purchasing decisions by providing better visibility into inventory levels. Next slide. So this is basically the rundown chart for Sprint 2. So as we know, it is basically basically a graphical representation of work left to do versus the time, where the vertical axis is are the story points which determines the amount of work that needed to be done and completed, and the horizontal axis represents the timeline of the project. Here, starting for the 24 days chart span from start to end of the project, the yellow line actually represents the actual path of the work that needs to be completed within the sprint, and the red line is the indication of the pace on which a team was working. And as you can see, there were two spikes in the graphical representation, which indicates that we were ahead of the actual pace that we needed to at some point, but eventually got behind. Next slide. So for the sprint 3 summary, for as a health conscious individual who wants to check the nutritional value so that he can maintain the dietary regimen without hassle, there was a feature of nutritional value where individuals could check the nutritional value of recipes. It was enabled health conscious. It was enabled for health conscious individuals to maintain their dietary regimen by providing information on nutritional content of the recipes. The improved meal planning and dietary management for users focused on health and nutrition. For gourmet cooks who wanted to access a wide range of recipes, so that they can explore new dishes and cuisines. There was recipe recognizer where the feature was to provide access to a wide variety of recipes, empowered gourmet cooks to explore new dishes and cuisines with ease. It enhanced the cooking experience by providing a diverse range of recipes tailored to users' preferences and interests. For parents with multiple kids who wanted to plan meals for the whole week so that they can organize the shopping and cooking schedule better. Uh, Recipe organizer was also used for that by enabling parents to organize their schedules more effectively and by providing meal planning assistance. Facilitated meal preparations for busy parents allowed them to focus on providing nutritional meals for their families. For novice cooks who developed step-by-step cooking guides to help novice cooks learn to cook with more confidence, empowered novice cooks to improve their culinary skills by providing detailed instructions for preparing various dishes. For college students, implemented the same recipe recognizer feature to help them find recipes based on the ingredients that they have. Also, college students were use this to avoid buying extra groceries by providing recipe suggestions tailored to their available ingredients. And for the restaurant chefs who wanted to access a wide variety of recipes so that they can quickly offer dishes, uh, a recipe recognizer played a major role in that by improving the efficiency in restaurant kitchens by providing quick access to recipes and culinary inspiration for chefs. Next slide. So this is the burn down chart for sprint 3. As you can see, as I mentioned earlier, it is the graphical representation of work left to do versus the time. And compared to the sprint 3, we were actually working on a good pace and we were up to date with the timeline that was given to us for completing the deliverables, and we eventually completed it in time. Next slide. Over to you, Sujita.
Thank you, Aditya. So this is the Sprint 4 backlog. We have covered 6 stories so far. So I'll be going through each one of them. As a student, I want to upload the image of food so I can receive the video recommendations of the image upload. We have for this, the acceptance criteria would be the given system has to identify the food image, then fetches the videos and displays the 4 relevant videos, top 4 videos. Then would be the user story 2. As a parent, I want detailed nutrition value for the upload image so I can make the informative, like good dietary choices. So the given system has to process the food image, and then it will analyzes the food item and displays the nutritional values including calories, proteins and fats, carbs, any significant vitamins and minerals for certain food items. And then the next story would be user story 4. As an environment aware user, I want to be alerted about food nearing about expiration so that I can reduce the food waste. For the given item, the to minimize the food waste, the expire to expired products, the kitchen sink application will prioritize the list of based on their expiration dates and suggest the recipes for that to finish them sooner, since it will be nearing to the expiration date. Then will be the user story 11. As a restaurant manager, I want to track the freshness of my perishable stock so that I can ensure the quality of the dishes served. As the criteria would be, as a restaurant manager, will be responsible for maintaining the freshness of the goods. When I stock the goods, the in the our application, kitchen sink application, it will track the shelf life and gives the alert before a few days of the expiration date. Next will be user story 12. As a pastry chef, I want to receive the alerts when specific ingredients are low so I can restock them before using. For the baking, for the time of baking, to ensure the continuous availability of baking ingredients, my upcoming when the with the upcoming baking schedule with kitchen sink app, it should provide a forecast of ingredients usage and alert me in advance to meal prep. Here we'll be discussing on the meal prep. Will next will be user story 16. As a seafood market manager, I want to track the sell by dates of seafoods so we can promote the freshness and safety of our products. As a seafood product is approaching shelf life, when I check the inventory of my kitchen sink app, the app should highlight the products and alert me so that I can prioritize the sale to ensure the freshness and safety. Next slide, please. And these are the test cases we went through, and we have made changes in our test case based on the professor's feedback. So we have included test case ID, user ID, description, and outcome in this sprint. So the first one will be nutrition value, nut value. As a parent, I want to see the detailed nutrition value for the uploaded image, so I can make informed dietary choices. It will verify the nutrition values of the uploaded image, and the outcome will be successful display of the nutrition values. Next would be recipe recommendation videos. As a student, I want to upload the image of food. I can receive the video recommendations of the uploaded image. The system or application verifies the uh, top four videos. It displays the top four videos. Outcome would be displaying of the recipe videos. Next would be recipe recommendation. As a bakery owner, I want to manage my inventory bakery items so that I can prevent the shortage and reduce the excess of waste. So it tests the recipes by uploading image. Here we are testing the recipes, and the outcome will be successful viewing of the pantry items. Next will be user alert generation. As a pantry chef, I want to receive the alerts when the specific ingredients are low so that I can restock the items for the restock and reload the supplies for the time of baking. It verifies the alert generation of the items that are approaching the expiry dates. The outcome would be successful alert generation. Next, the timeline will be checked. The user alt time. As a restaurant owner, I want to track the freshness of my perishable stock so I can ensure the quality of the dishes. The time frames are of the alert will be checked. The alert time frames at what time the time frames for the alert are being checked in this case. The next case would be recipe recognition. As a government cook, I want to access wide varieties of recipes so I can explore new dishes and cuisines. Here we'll be testing the recipes recognition when you upload the image. Successful be the recipes will be recognized here. So these are the test cases we have done in the through our applications. Next, I'll pass on to Sahiti.
Sahiti, you're on mute.
We can't hear you.
Hi, so far we completed these stories. Recipe recommendation feature. This feature allows us to capture an image of a dish that they find appealing and receive recommendations for video recipes that are similar to that uploaded image. And second one is a nutritional analysis feature. This feature allows us comprehensive breakdown of the nutrition content, like enabling them to make healthier choices to our families. And the next one is a expiry notifications feature. This feature sends notifications to user when food items in their inventory are approaching their expiration dates, allowing them to take necessary actions to consume their items, thereby reducing unnecessary food wastage. And next one is a freshness tracking feature. By monitoring the freshness of ingredients and perishable items, this feature assists restaurant managers in maintaining high standards of quality control and ensuring that only fresh ingredients are used in the preparation of dishes served to the customer. And next one, expiration notification feature. This feature notifies uh, chefs or households when their inventory of certain ingredient is running low, allowing them to replace their supplies promptly and avoid disruptions in their backing operations. And also the next, this monitoring sell by dates of their seafood inventory. This feature enables seafood market managers to ensure that only fresh and safe products are sold to customers, maintaining high standards of quality and customer satisfaction. Next slide, please. Story is not completed. We finished everything we initially planned to do. We implemented all the features we planned.
For the theme velocity is calculated using the number of story points that is completed in that particular sprint. In sprint 4, the total of all the story point estimation totaled upon like 45, and the historical theme velocity is the average of all the previous sprints total velocity, and it came around like on sprint 2 was 11, for sprint 3 was 26, and sprint 4 was like 45, and divided between summed up on somewhere around 27.3. And for the commitment ratio, we finished everything we initially planned upon, so it was 100%. Over to Sahiti.
Yeah. Burn down chart is a graphical representation used to track our progress during the sprint. It can be used to identify periods of slower progress, scope changes, and potential areas for improvement. It shows the remaining work on the y-axis and the number of days in the sprint in y-axis. Here, the x-axis or a horizontal axis represents the days, and y-axis or vertical axis represents the story points. Here we can see 3 colored lines. These lines are the red line represents the total planned work. It starts from day 1 to day 24, and it should ideally reach 0 to the end of the sprint. The orange line represents the ideal burn down rate, and the yellow line depicts the actual burn down of work at the sprint progress. This line shows the team's actual progress in completing the tasks and burning down the remaining work. So by analyzing these lines, the yellow line started slightly below the ideal orange line, indicating that we had a slightly faster start in completing tasks compared to the planned rate. Around day 8, the actual burn down line intersected with the ideal burn down line. That is the orange line, suggesting that the team was on track with the planned work. From day 8 to the until day 18, we are very close to the ideal line, implying we mentioned consistent and steady pace in completing the task during this period. However, to the ideal of 18, we have encountered some challenges. So the work is delayed. But however, the end of the sprint, we are reached to 0. That's it. Next slide. Over to you, Neha.
If for the retrospective too, we have 3 columns. One is what went well, what can be improved, and action items. And what went well in sprint 2, we all of us had our own opinions, where some of us we were talking about how the task distribution was good and the time taken to complete a task was really good in sprint 2, and managing unplanned items during the sprint was also went well. And in what could be improved, all of us are, we can see that we are agreeing on task management and frequent group meetings. And now for the action items, we're going to take what went well and what can be improved, and kind of are predicting the action items for the next sprint, where we can see we are talking about how we can schedule or we can like connect more to that of what we are doing already. And we are also talking about the schedule, how to fix it if one is not present, and communication with each other, basically feedbacks or helping each other. This is for the sprint 2. Next slide. And as we can see from the sprint 2 retrospective, we kind of took it and we improved a little bit, which could be seen in what went well column. As the task management, most of us are saying that it improved, and we did have a much more frequent number of meetings to that of what we had before. But even after that, we still faced a little obstacles with reviewing the work we were doing, and even though the distribution was good, we did have little obstacles with the meeting scheduling. And with both of what went well and what can be improved, we planned action items, which is like improving technical part, and most of us are. And what can be improved, we were also talking about the CSS part, which all of us are like doing to improve the website we are already doing. And in action items, with both of that, with action items, we are planning on having a better communication and improving the technical parts, and also schedule is always a problem, and improving the task distribution. That's all for the sprint 3. And when it comes to the screenshots, this is our homepage where you can see we can like the user can log in or register. Next slide. Then this is our sign-in page where user gives us ID and password. Yes, and then after giving, he registers basically. And this is our dashboard where user gives the item name and also mentions the expiry date when it's going to expire. And as we can see in the inventory list, it shows up where he can like delete the items or add more items. Next slide. So this is our food recognition slide. Previous slide, please. This is a food recognition slide where we upload an image, and our website, like it predicts what food item it is, and the accuracy is 0.9 and 0.5, as you can see. And after that, it gives us the nutritional facts, where it gives the nutrition value, for the kilograms and average cholesterols and per unit how much it is, and with that it also gives you a recipe recommendation or the recipe for the food item. And we also added a video recommendation where you can like whether you can read the recipe or you can go to the links which is provided for the video to like know the recipe. With that, we also modified a little bit in the nutrition factors where you can see the cholesterol, fat, protein, and carbohydrates.
Yeah, so this is our GitHub link. You can visit this link for seeing the code and all our documentation part. The next slide. Yeah, so coming to the live app demo, I'll be sharing the screen. Okay, is my screen visible?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So this is our home screen. So when we click on user login, we enter our credentials and click on login, we go to the home page. You can see it alerts us saying which items are going to expire soon based on the items present in the inventory. Here you can enter the item name which you bring, and here it's expiry date. And when you click on add item, it gets added. Let me show you an example. So it gets added over here. And if you don't want any item, you can also delete it. So it gets deleted. And here as well, you can see which items are going to expire, which you have seen in the alert. And if you want to use these expiring items, you can click on this button, which will give you 5 best recipes, matching recipes from our database. The ingredients and instructions are mentioned over here. Now we also have an additional feature called Predict Dish. In this page, you can go down and you can upload an image. For example, let me upload an image. So this is a donut image. So let's see. So it has predicted the dish. It is donuts, and it also gives us the nutritional information, like how many calories are present, how many fats, how much protein, and how much carbs is there, so that you can choose your dish cleverly. And we also provide the video recommendations from YouTube, which you can follow, and you can prepare the dish which is predicted. We have used web scraping for this nutritional information and providing the videos part. And predicting part is done by using machine learning algorithms and neural networks. Thank you.